Today's a great day in Path of Exile history. How does it feel, MFers? You dirty little MFers, how does it feel to actually have to play the game? Imagine this. You start from level 1, you grind your way up through the campaign, you get stronger, you earn more passive points, and you actually have to gear your character to do harder content and get rewarded for it. And you don't get to just slap on Mickey Mouse gear and drop a bunch of stuff. You actually have to gear your character to do harder content and then get rewarded for it. I know it sounds ridiculous. It sounds crazy. You're telling me I have to make a character, actually put real gear on it, actually craft real stuff, and do harder content to get rewards instead of just slapping on Mickey Mouse gear? Are you serious? You telling me I have to actually play the game the way that it should be played, especially because it's a RPG game where you grind your character and put real gear on to do real content? That's insane, right? No more Mickey Mouse gear. Hats off to GGG. This is an awesome change. MFers, get fucked. Absolutely, MFers, get fucked. It's over. Real PoE is back. Real gaming is back. We're so back. MFers, delete the game. It's over. It's over. If you want to MF from now on, just download Diablo 2. Right? A 20-year-old game where MF belongs. MF does not belong in PoE, man. If you want to MF, download Diablo 2 and go back to where it belongs. Right? Boys, we're entering a new age of PoE. MFers, stay mad. Mickey Mouse gear is now deleted. You can no longer just throw on Mickey Mouse gear, go into a map, and drop 10 mirrors a day, 30 divines an hour raw with Mickey Mouse gear equipped. You can't do it anymore. You actually have to play the game. You can't find 30 doctors in 1 hour, 10 apothecaries in one map. No, you actually have to play the game. No more Mickey Mouse gear, man. Yo! What the fuck? I am currently browsing Reddit right now, and the sweet tears of MF cheesers. You dirty MFers, you dirty, sick, twisted MFers who wanted cheese instead of making real builds. Your tears are so sweet. They're sweet. They taste good, bro. You guys are crying because you can't cheese in a game where you're meant to build a real character. Gone are the days of cheesing for loot. You actually have to do harder content for loot, and it is absolutely amazing. Okay, but in reality, let's really get to the real subject of the video. So, is it a bad change? Is it a good change? Let's talk about it for real. So, overall, getting straight to it, I think it's a good change. Someone else putting on Magic Find doesn't necessarily affect my experience, but I think the fact that GGG sees that it's just kind of goofy, and they're removing it kind of solidifies my argument that it's Mickey Mouse gear. Like, it's just a weird thing where some of the most profitable strategies are to just throw on Mickey Mouse gear compared to somebody else that actually has a real character. Seeing someone with Mickey gear make more currency than you do is kind of weird. I think the game should be structured. First of all, I think that was a problem with how the game was structured. It's not the Magic Finder's fault. It's not the other player's fault who's using real gear's fault. I think it's just how the game was built, and it's kind of like a artifact of the past. Magic Find being in the game was a direct inspiration from Diablo 2. Yeah, of course they changed it a little bit and called it item quantity, but it was inspired by Diablo 2. It's an ancient thing. I think the direction that they're going, in the direction I agree with, is you being rewarded for doing harder content. Now, lastly, that was supposed to be T17s. T17s was obviously a disaster in my opinion last league, but I think this league they're gonna tune it to make it better. But the idea is now you strive to build a real character to do harder content, and you're rewarded for it. And I think their vision in doing that, having Magic Find being in the game, kind of just like makes it kind of like stupid. So he removed it. I agree with it. I think you should do harder content with a beefier character and get rewarded for it, instead of somebody like bypassing that on the side and I'm gonna throw up a bunch of Mickey Mouse gear and run around and drop 20 mirrors a day. I have 30 raw divines in the last 2 maps. This is awesome. Like, obviously I'm exaggerating, and that doesn't affect my experience, but I know a lot of people get FOMO from it. And like I said, I think GGG wants you to do harder content and get rewarded for it. And Magic Find, I think it's an artifact of the past. You can still do it in standard if you want to do it, but in the future, PoE is a power fantasy. You have to get more stronger, and the stronger you get, the more content you do, the more currency and loot you get. It just makes the most sense, and I'm glad that GGG is coming around. I don't think the people that were magic finding are gonna struggle to make currency. At the end of the day, certain people that play the game and know life and go hard, or people who always want to do the meta strats, they're always going to be rich in the game. Just because Magic Find is gone doesn't mean it's the end of the world. There's just going to be another strategy. So the people that are complaining about Magic Find being gone, you have to understand there's always going to be something else. Just because Magic Find is gone doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to make a lot of currency. Right? Like, look at Nemesis 3 in the past. Like, you didn't need Magic Find to do Nemesis 3, and if you were running it correctly, you were making a lot of currency. Right? Literally, I was farming headhunters like per hour worth of currency doing Nemesis 3 back in the day with the raw exalts and currency I was dropping. So I'm not saying that's in the game now, but there's always going to be the it thing. Magic Find was an it thing for that niche, but just because it's gone doesn't mean that Magic Finders aren't going to be able to make currency. There's going to be a new thing in this league. There's new chisels. I'm sure there's new scarabs. Somebody's going to data mine the game the moment they get the opportunity to, and some kind of weird, obscure, or new meta strat even is going to pop up, and the same people that were in the 0.1% are going to still be in the 0.1%. So at the end of the day, I don't think anybody should panic about this. The rich will still be rich. If you're one of those people who can never make currency, if you don't adapt, you still won't ever make currency. That's just how it is. So overall, great change by GGG. And I don't think anybody's gonna be completely broke this league because of this.